Hello everyone, welcome back to the SPLL Labs Java programming course. In today's video, we are going to learn about Var-Args methods in Java. We will understand what are Var-Args, why we use them, how they work, rules and common mistakes. Let's get started. In the previous video, we learned about variables in Java. A variable is used to store a value. It has a name and a value. Example, int age equal to 25. Here, age is variable name, 25 is value. Now think, what if we want to pass many values? Not just one value. This is what we are going to solve today. Let's understand this with a simple example. Imagine you have a shopping bag. You can put one item, you can put 5 items, you can put 20 items. The bag changes based on how many items you add. It does not have a fixed limit. In Java, Var-Args works the same way. A method can take one value or many values. It depends on what we pass. Var-Args means we can pass any number of values. Var-Args means variable arguments. It allows a method to take any number of values. Instead of writing many methods, we write one method. One method can handle many values. Now let's see this practically. Now let's write a simple method for this. Watch carefully. I will create a new class. Now I will create a new class. I will give class name as Var-Args demo. And I will check the main method and click finish. Now you can see the main method is already created. So we don't need to write manually. Now inside this class, I will create a method. Here I have created a add method. Inside brackets, I have written int numbers. These three dots means it can take many values. Numbers is the variable name. Now inside this method, I will write code. Here you can see now I am printing total number of values. Numbers length gives how many values we passed. Now here I will write a condition. Now I am checking at least one value is there. Now inside this I will print here I am printing first value. Numbers of 0 means first value. Now here I will write another condition. So now I am checking if more than one value is there. Now inside this I will print here I am printing the second value. Numbers of 1 means second value. Now this is our method. Here I have written two conditions. First condition, it prints first value if the length greater than 0. And second condition, it prints second value if the length greater than 1. Now I will go to the main method and call this method. Here this is our main method. Here I will call add and pass 10, 20. Since this is static method, we can directly call. And next I will call again add method and I will pass 5, 15, 25. This time I am passing 3 values. Save and now I will run this program. Now you can see here total values equal to 2 and first value equal to 10 and second value equal to 20. Here first method is called, we are passing two values, that's why here total value is equal to 2 and here we passed 10 as the first value. So first value 10 and second value 20. So here one method is handling different number of values. This is the power of Var-Args. Var-Args allows a method to take any number of values in a simple way. Here also you can see we called again add method and passed 5, 15, 25. Here you can see total value is 3, first value is 5 and second value is 15. So only one Var-Args is allowed in a method. Now let's try to create two Var-Args. Now you can see the error here because we cannot pass multiple Var-Args to a method. Now you can see the error is gone. And Var-Args must be the last. Here in this method, if I keep another variable, you can see the error already because Var-Args must be the last parameter in the method. Now you can see the error is gone and here we must pass That's it, the error is gone. So remember two things. Only one Var-Args is allowed per method and it must be always the last parameter. Now let's see some common mistakes. These mistakes are very important for beginners. Suppose if I forgot this, now here I am writing int numbers, but I forgot the three dots. Now this is just a normal parameter, not Var-Args. So this method cannot take multiple values. Confusing with array. Here if I keep instead of dots array, this is an int array, not an Var-Args. It looks similar but looks different. Here we must pass array manually. So Var-Args is actually an array internally, but Java makes it easier for us. We don't need to create array manually. Var-Args is like an array, but simple to use. Now let's see some of the best practices. Use Var-Args when values are not fixed. Keep methods simple and use meaningful names. So, this is the end of code part. Today we learned what is Var-Args, how it works in code, rules and mistakes. Before ending this video, I have a small task for you. Try to create a method using Var-Args and print the last value. Try to access the last index. Also, what happens if no values are passed? Will it give error or not? Try it in your IDE and write your answers in the comments. Practice is the key. Try it yourself and understand better. So that's all for today. In the next video, we will learn about main method in Java. We will understand how a Java program starts and why main method is important. If you found this helpful, please like, share and subscribe to SP Learning Labs. See you in the next video.